Alright, so I'm gonna continue on here with the sewing. I gotta figure out which eyebrows go to what eyebrows here. So let's see. That's saying right. But I'm looking at it backwards, so this should. Sorry, hopefully autofocus doesn't screw everything up all the time. Alright, so I'm gonna get. Come on, autofocus. I don't like you. So I'll get that clipped together. Hey guys, thanks for joining up. Let's see. I don't see any chat here, so whoops. Chat, there we go. If anybody's joining in. Oh, yep, we got a few people. All right, so just got set up again. Hopefully the camera stops focusing on my face here, but got the breast British impressions. All right. I'm not very good at pretty much anything impression-wise. Let's see, I'm actually cutting fur right now, huh? You making another mask or finishing it up or what's going on there? And we're back. Yep, I'm back. All right. So, still haven't got the foam that I ordered earlier this morning, but it's only 7:30, actually 7:50. They said by 10, so it looks like it's probably gonna be closer to the later end. But now I'm working on getting the eyebrows kind of set up for getting on his face. And yeah, so I always clip the fur. Where are we at? There we go. I can see what's going on the screen now. All right, so I clip the fur on the inside, and geez, there we go. And just try to keep it as clean on the edge as possible. That way, when I'm sewing, it doesn't get caught up in the needle. So, there we go. But all right, so we'll see how this goes. Hi. Huh? All right. See if I can get this to feed through here. There we go. And I tend to backstitch it just to keep it in place. Get that down. And continue on where I left off earlier. So, uh, yeah, so if you're new at joining up for the day, this morning I kind of worked on getting the eyes glued onto the acrylic or the epoxy casts I did last night. They cured up, so I printed out some of the eyeballs and glued those in place. I'll sign this and I'll talk a little bit more. All right. So here we go. We get some blood moon eyebrows going. So gotta love the fluff. Floor. All right, so this is what I've got so far. Basically, last night we threw together putting a fan in the face, got some teeth painted up, and then I trimmed out a little bit more around the eyes. That way I've got better field of view, and I can see a little bit better. They look close enough to symmetrical to me, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I did the same thing kind of on the bottom of the jaw, and then glued in the tongue this morning as well, but realized, whoops. Then I put straps for putting the mask on. However, I don't have any foam to really finish off the back or make ears or anything, so while I'm waiting for Amazon, which should be delivering soon, I went ahead and cut out fur for the face, got some basic pre-shave going on him, and now he's kind of got a skunk look going until I put his eyebrows on, which should be somewhere in this region. So, and then he's got his eyebrows going. And then I'll do the final shave and assembly of things as we start getting them all together. But I figured while I'm waiting for Amazon, I might as well start continuing on with the sewing bits. And I don't have those correctly. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't know if you guys can see, but looks like when I cut it, I either cut all the fur fibers off on that edge, which I know it's really hard to see on this camera with the lighting I have, but I think from one of these angles you might see that, hey, they don't fluff up the way that I want them to. So I might have to do a recut on that. We'll see. Yeah. Just noticing, I'm like, that doesn't look right. That looks like a bad cut. So I think I cut the eyebrow pieces just a little bit off. So I will not be doing that. I guess we can attempt to throw an eyebrow. Which way do you go? That way. No, it goes forward. Yeah. I have them fling forward. So I know I skinned him, poor thing. All right, well, should have caught that sooner, but I didn't. So I don't know if I want to machine sew this or not. Let me think about this. I think normally I think I hand sew this traditionally. But I know hand sewing is super fun to watch on cam. It's fun to do in person too. All right. A lot of flipping and flopping around. So I think I will clip the eyebrow and see how this goes. I can't wait to make my next head. Not sure which Sona I'm going to make though. So, what Sonas are you looking at and thinking about doing? I think I was saying I really would kind of like to make a Protogen and a few different other ones. I really I don't know. There's just too many cool ones out there that I really want to do. A little bit of everything. But then I just end up making Blood Moon over and over and maybe over again. So, all right. Let's see. So, either a better version of my first head, a dog, or my Manakit. Yep, Manakit's definitely a good one. I feel like I keep making my Blood Moon where I try to get better vision and better vision, so as much as I'd like to do a Manakit, that doesn't seem like probably the best choice because, well, vision and Manakits just don't quite do the same, so don't belong in the same sentence. But no, I totally get that. Let's see. I don't have a fursona. I've been trying to brainstorm some ideas, but I don't know. I don't really feel like they match with me. Well, that's definitely all right. Are you thinking more like whoops, I'm caught up here in the sewing machine. Let's get this out. Get out of there. Oh, no wonder it's got a little hole. Okay. Like the fabric one? I don't know that I've got it. It might be in the furry bedroom. So, daughter's home from college for the weekend, so now she's looking around for her stuff. She just got her Big Z Fabrics box in to continue with her boyfriend's dragon persona and making his bodysuit. So that's been about a year in the making, or discussions at least. But they finally bit the bullet and bought the material. And she's prepping to have some free time this summer, so that's good. And I'm trying to decide if I want to try to go to AWU as well, which would put me going to a furry convention from May. I'll do one in June. Let's see. Then I think AWU in Utah is August 3rd or 1st through something. So that would be like one every month during the summer. And I don't know if I could get off work as much as I'd like to, but we'll see. All right. Here we go. We've got some eyebrows on Blood Moon, at least one. Then I will check and see what else I can do. Because I really don't want to pull the fur out to chop another black, but we'll see. Did you find it? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Manakits often have smaller squinty eyes, but there is a tribe of Manakits which are tribal, and they have fully open eyes. I'll have to look into that. I like the squinty eyes though. So do I. I think that's kind of cool about them, but I also they seem like they're small, but I think you can make them have plenty good vision. It just yeah, I don't know. That'll be a future discovery if I go that route or not. But
I've seen some mannequins that look like I don't know if they can hear me. I've seen some mannequins that look like they have pretty good vision, especially if they're like kimono style because the eyes are just naturally bigger,
yeah,
and that still translates when you have the squinty mannequin eyes.
I could see that.
Yeah. Um. There's one that I'm thinking of that did like a really good mannequin that had good vision. I'm totally blanking on it, but they do like really, really good airbrushing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's something I need to mess with and try again, or not try again. I never tried it in the first place, but I bought the airbrush.
Yeah.
But
I think I want to try and do airbrushing on my 2.0 head whenever I start on that. Realistically, that probably won't be something that I work on for,
a while.
yeah,
Well, after.
well after AW.
All right. Well, looking at Blood Moon, everything's kind of laying at least somewhat correctly here. I tend to be kind of unsure of what to do with the black part of the eyelids. I don't know if I am supposed to sew them down two things and then I sew them down and I realize I don't like them where they're at, so then I readjust them. So I'm thinking I might just leave them until I figure out a whole lot more on what's going on here, because I've only done this like 5 times. So I should have it down now, but every time I realize, huh, that didn't go the way I wanted it. So I'm gonna leave it as is. Let me see if I can chop out a new eyebrow. That really sucks. Oh. Do I have a scrap? Got big chunks of brown scrap, blue scrap. This must be the Jinx box. Definitely a Jinx box. Oh, that might work. I think a few of y'all were watching and listening earlier when I throw all my little scraps on the floor as I'm going, and so I found a chunk of stuff here in the scrap pile on the floor. Let's see what we can do. Will this work? Actually, I'm not tracing off of that. I'm tracing off of these. Eyebrow. Eyelid. Where's my eyelid?
I ate it.
Nope. Nope. All right. Got my template again. My clips on the floor. Looks like I've got it in the right direction. And Sharpie. So what you working on? Your paws or?
No, so me and Yuri are gonna end up doing like not a commission, a trade. And part of what I'm getting is wrist cuffs to match the collar that I got from it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, and I'm gonna be doing a keyring for
A Kigu?
yeah.
Nice.
I'm waiting for the
Time to swap razor blades.
chewing on the fabric.
Yeah, I'm like, nope.
But yeah, I'm waiting for the oh my god, Pico Textiles to restock because they have like the perfect color for what we're looking for. And it's just not there. I'll probably wait until I am nearly done with Noxie's bodysuit before I haul it and try and find the color from somewhere else. The fur is all scraggly.
Is that on your paw?
Yeah, I need to brush it out. I don't think I don't think I brushed it out last time I was in.
All right. Let's see. That looks hopefully a little bit better. So, new eyebrow, and we'll flip this around, see if they're going in the correct direction. I think they are. I almost don't like that red one either. Let's see, gotta love the floor fur. Yeah, my cat thinks that it's adequate bedding. Oh man, we've got, like I was saying, fur piled up on the couches, and now we've got another 5 yards or so from the dragon that my daughter ordered in. So, cat, she thinks some of these piles are for her, but at least we've scared her off of them enough times now that she doesn't tend to sleep on them too much. But it looks like a good bed. I don't kind of blame her for that. But my first shelf, she doesn't go up there at least. I think it looks too dangerous. You touch it, a big mountain and avalanche of fur comes down. All right, see how this guy does. I feel like the camera's focusing on everything except for what I probably want it to focus on. Sorry. I could go in there and manually fix it and see if that helps, but I'd probably screw it up even worse. As I'm sitting here thinking about Amazon, it's always the stuff that I don't necessarily need that I get within like 2 hours of ordering it. But the stuff I kind of want like now, yeah, it's gonna take me, the full 12 hours for them to get it to me. I know that's kind of a sad complaint that, hey, it took them 12 hours to get it to me, but let's see. I'd really like to get the foam in here so I can start sculpting the head and get everything kind of finalized. But all right, eyebrows. More floor fluff, fluff, wow, floof. Uh, all right. Let's see. One of my least favorite parts is trying to remember how to assemble all the fursuit pieces. I normally have to reference see where the tape lines intersect on things and be like, oh yes, that's what I need. That's not supposed to go on the chin, that's supposed to be on the neck or the back of the head. But the eyebrows just don't work quite the same way. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go to a fursuit meetup tomorrow again. I really should do that. It's been fun, and this might be about the last one I could do before it just gets too hot here. So I think today was about 100 degrees, but I think tomorrow's supposed to be a little bit cooler, so it might be only 90 something, which sounds horrible in fursuit still. So trying to decide if it's worth driving about 45 minutes across town to go do or not, but sounds like my daughter's thinking she'll be going, which makes sense. She's got to go back across town to go back to the college campus anyway, so For her, that makes sense, but then I have to come all the way back, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the face shrug here. Let's see. I'll look and get the full context of the face shrug, but yeah, they always look pretty sad before you start adding glue. Half the time I'm like, is this doesn't even belong on this, does it? It looks pretty goofy, pretty loose. Let's see. Hey, I see you have a slicker brush.
Yeah.
I see you had a slicker brush. Can I take a peek at that?
No.
All right. Thanks. Oops, going the wrong way. That doesn't help. All right. Well, that's looking about right for Blood Moon. He's got his, I would call it iconic eyebrow fluff going here. We've got the black and red mix going on. It's pointing forward. Totally classy. All right. And let's brush out his nose seams. The what?
I've conveniently finished peacocks to wear with my kiwi immediately as the weather gets a billion degrees.
Yeah, that's not convenient at all. You you must not understand vocabulary. 'Cause that is not convenient.
Exactly what I wanted. Especially since I haven't had any other chance to wear them out.
I'll clean the floof out of your brush.
Thanks.
Look, all the green and purple.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Where did that come from?
All right, so gotta love the face rug once you get mostly done sewing it together. I never took a picture of mine, sadly, but the next time it's cool to see all of it. The intricacies of sewing. I like to breathe in fibers. Yeah, don't we all? I think my mom has the same sewing machine. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the Baby Locks. This thing's been real nice. I think I was saying earlier that when it works with slick fabrics like Minky, it works really well. Cool. Yep. All right, so Blood Moon has a partial facial recognition going on here, so let's see. Whoops.
I should trim out the cloth. I was getting really nervous to do that.
you know me on my shaving skills. It's like, well,
You tell me.
I'm glad I spent 4 hours. Oh wait, 4,000 hours working on this, and I screwed it up in 2 minutes.
Yep. That's
All right,
shaving for you.
here's the derpy guy. We'll see. Hopefully everything comes together once I actually finish the head base. But maybe Amazon will show up today. Let's see, that guy goes down there. What else can I do? Guess I can do some cheek fluff.
Do I trim these right now? Oh, I'm gonna be pissed off because I'll have to make a new set of paws again.
Yes,
Yes.
I am helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, as helpful as the heat is convenient in fursuit.
I'm helpful as cat sits on your lap.
Yeah, very helpful. If she starts making barking noises.
Oh gosh, bad kitty. All right, so I see the two sides have unequal lengths here. So my question is, do I trim the white? Do I trim the black? Do I just say screw it and sew it as is and I'll compensate later? Let's see which side works. I think this side is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that looks closer. Hmm. So the issue I was having is the black overhang here looks good. There's, let's see, a little bit of overhang over here for this edge, which I would put the fur kind of up and against and sew it on. But the opposite side doesn't quite have that much. It's got, I don't know, about a half inch of fur versus an inch, inch and a half, somewhere in there. So, what do I do? What do I do? Typically, that little fluff kind of just sews into the neck of Blood Moon, so it's really not a huge deal. I just have to compensate kind of with the neck, which I could just chop out a little V or something like that just to make it work. So I think what will I do? Your cat ran away? That sucks. How long ago was that? Hey, loser.
Yeah, you got my scissors there. Very, very nice.
I'm gonna trim just a tad bit just to kind of even that out. So I think I'm gonna trace it with a Sharpie. If I could find the Sharpie. There we go. Sorry, I'll give you scissors back in just a sec.
Arguably not doing anything important.
Sharpie. All right. Okay, so gonna trim this little section out just a little bit, and then I'll kind of have a even-ish balance between the two sides, hopefully. Little tiny snips. Don't screw it up. Alright.
The fur right here got really scary because of the finger suit. Because I was like kind of scrunching it up with my nose that run fair.
Oh. So now you gotta
So that's all.
brush it out.
Yeah, it's like matted. Kind of gross.
Okay, so
Also didn't help that I don't think I brushed him after Ren Fair. That's kind of foul.
yeah.
Look at the difference.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, brushing out the fursuits afterwards.
Mhm.
Definitely good, but
Been sitting in the bin for the past like month because I haven't had anything to do with them.
yeah. Okay, so that looks like the right. We've got the left. Alright, so now I'm finally putting on some of his cheek fluff. This is probably one part that I kind of screwed up on Blood Moon. Geez, what was he? 3.0? I don't even know anymore. They're all a little bit of mistake here and there, but
See like new ones pop up. And you're like, yep,
we have a new
he
family.
multiplied.
I'm just waiting for the day Blood Moon shows up on my front doorstep again, that Blood Moon 1.0 and 2.0 that I lost. And I'm like, oh crap, now I've got 5 of them. Well, this is fun. But I don't think that's going to be the case. He's been missing for quite a while. But then I think I'm going to show up to a furry convention or something, and I'm like, oh, look, there's another one of me walking around. Somebody found him, and they're like, I'll keep this, which I probably wouldn't blame them. Probably take a picture of them and say, hey, congrats, you've got 2 of my fursuits. All right. Clips. Yes, pause much better.
Much better. Now I have to get everything else.
As mid-month of April started rolling around, I'm like, I really need to start making a Blood Moon. That way I'm not in a rush at the end to go to FWA.
And this is another
Partial,
mm,
partial good. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I also need to make Pause. And on top of Pause, I may remake a tail. Which, yep, I don't know. Sun Hollow sent a video of a Sergal tail, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty cool. The tip of the tail is way more fluffy than I got. And, yep. We'll see.
a suit with a long tail. It might just be a slightly different battery.
You mean an animal creature that actually has a tail?
Yeah. Instead of a weird little bat, but I don't know what it's got.
Well, yeah.
Maybe like that.
Yeah, the tail that I ended up looking at that Sun Hollow had sent over, that thing had a clip that clipped onto your belt or whatnot. I'm like, I've been thinking about just making a smaller tail because I always have people standing on it. But yeah, his just hits everybody in the waist. It's airborne. But my thought is I was gonna make it shorter so it doesn't drag on the ground, but I don't know why I never thought about doing the clip to the belt for a Sergal. So she sent one over and I'm like, ooh, I kind of like that. So I might try making another tail. Luckily they go pretty quick just because I've already got the pattern. I could just modify it. And there's nice big lengths of fur that I sew together, and it's done probably within a day. So
How fast Nox's tail went together.
oh yeah, that
Because it was just a big trapezoid, and I could do everything by machine. It didn't have anything that I was forced to hand sew. So the entire like 6-7 foot skin came together in the span of like an afternoon. It was crazy.
no, that thing I was really surprised at how quickly that thing came together and how amazing it is.
There's some things that I want to change about it because it it does just kind of like lean, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I can't imagine that it's good for the foam structure inside. That was not so clean, and then I tore out half of the mouth, and now it's all like
Jaggedy.
I don't know how that happened because that doesn't even look like close.
Who are you, you imposter? All right. Oh yeah, there you go.
That foreign in the new video camera. There's no point in cleaning up this line actually. Because I know I still need to tear it out and replace the other half of it.
Oh no.
Oh no?
Oh no for you. Having to tear out more.
I heard the machine beep and I heard oh no and I thought oh no.
Oh no, this machine no longer works. We must get a new one. And this oh no is because I totally missed the fabric.
I do that. Oh, thank you. So roasted. It's so strawberry.
All right, so here we go. We're starting to get a little bit of the recognizable features of Blood Moon. We got the cheeks. Yep. Cheeks, eyebrows. Kind of missing the bottom part of his face, but that's okay. He doesn't need that.
Sure.
And one more cheek sew in here. And then I maybe cast, well, I could put the rest of the neck pieces and stuff, sew those together, but they happen so quick, and I'm waiting for Amazon to come with my boxes. And then actually those foam, they're usually so compact that I probably have to leave them out overnight to fluff up, so I may have to call it a quits after this, which you guys probably more than happy to see me end. All right.
I should find a way to this so that I can have it like in the front of his face, but I didn't. Something that I did not consider when I gave the fursuit long hair was that I don't know how to style hair.
Yeah, that's not helpful. Oh, that's cute.
Cute if it would stay.
If it'd stay,
And
if you,
so if I could see out of my other eye.
yeah, you like vision like I like vision.
Yeah, not being able to see kind of stinks.
Yeah. All right, so here we go, and there you guys are over here on the computer. All right, computer land, here we go. We got bits of Blood Moon coming together. It's got the basic shave down. I think we'll clean that up, which is scary because I say we'll clean it up and then it makes it worse. So we'll see. But got some eyebrows in here. That'll take a little bit of finagling once I get the eyes in. But all in all, I think that's a good stopping point since I have no fluff or foam coming in yet. But they should be here in the next couple hours. But all right, I think we're gonna have a documented history of how long this thing actually takes me after because I'm only working on it when I'm recording. So
Oh wow.
that'll be interesting. You guys are in for a long, boring treat. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna call that quits for now. I'll see you guys in a little while, like tomorrow probably. Y'all have a good one. Chat's in the way, and there.